This is it, episode 561, No Laugh Track Podcast, here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. My name is Justin Sievers, and I get to host this each and every week, including this week with someone who hasn't been here since 2019, Dana Gould.
Really? 2019?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And
Is that the last time I was at Acme?
I can only believe. I remember there's been times.
I think it is.
Your name has been on the schedule, and then things haven't worked out.
Well, there was a pandemic. I think might have stopped it.
COVID thing.
And then I was supposed to come, and then I had to go to work on a show. And then so good. Okay.
I listened back, of course.
I love Minneapolis. What a beautiful week to be here. The weather is it's 103 back in Los Angeles, and it's fall. I consider it after Labor Day. It's fall to me. I just insist.
Oh, we've had that. The changes happen where it gets down to the 50s overnight.
Yeah, that's great.
It's leave the windows open at night weather.
Yeah, I could stay. I could stay here. Every town I go to, it's like I could live here. I could just drop everything, live here anonymously.
Yeah, well, I'll ask you that again in a month when there's a foot of snow and you'll be having memories of growing up in Massachusetts.
Well, that's the other thing. You always look like, I could do this. I could live here. And then you just flash forward to 4 days later when you're running down the street screaming, I got to get out of here.
Exactly. I mean, you've probably said that about Vegas at one point. Like, I can live here.
Never Vegas. But I do the desert I could do. I love Palm Springs. I love the desert down there. We have friends that live right on the edge of the Mojave.
Okay.
It's kind of like having a house on the moon. It really is. It's very. If you've ever seen that Twilight Zone episode, The Lonely, it's a guy who's alone on a desert planet. He's been sentenced there as like a prison. It's a very expensive prison, and then they give him a woman robot. And then,
here we go.
Yeah, it's a great episode, and it was filmed out in the Mojave Desert. And it's kind of like where they live. It's just like nothing. You look around, and it's kind of appealing.
Not good for the trick-or-treating, though.
Bad trick-or-treating. Bad trick-or-treating. By the way, I am gnawing at the bit to get my decorations up. My daughter says, no, too early, no. I have to wait until September 15th.
I was going to say, we're in the first week of September, and you're ready to go.
I'm raring.
What is your earliest memory of Halloween? Because I know we've talked about how much you love it. What's your earliest memory?
Oh, gosh. I guess I remember. I remember Halloween, like, I have photos of myself in Halloween costumes at like 4 and 5 and 6. My first Halloween memory is probably 9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Certainly 9 or 10, I remember.
Were your costumes originals, or were they hand-me-downs from your brothers?
No, I had those Ben Cooper costumes with like it's a great idea, these costumes, and I bought a couple. That's the joy of eBay.
Vintage you bought.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's like, say you're Frankenstein. Justin, let's say you're Frankenstein.
I'm Frankenstein.
To begin with, you're not Frankenstein. You're Frankenstein's monster. Although I don't, it's not Trump. It's Fred Trump's monster. But
wow.
So it's you Frankenstein. So you don't look like Frankenstein. You get an apron, basically.
Yes.
You step through it and it ties the back. And it's a picture of Frankenstein.
Right.
So you're just a guy that really likes Frankenstein, which is what you were before you put it on.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then you get that mask that you put on, and the first thing you do is stick your tongue through the mouth hole, and then it slices your tongue like a box cutter.
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 things as children, Ben Cooper Halloween masks and Captain Crunch were just designed to shred the inside of your mouth.
It made us stronger somehow.
Yeah, I think it's Tony V, the comedian from Boston, that used to do a really funny bit about eating Captain Crunch, and I just remember his line, strips of flesh dangling from the roof of your mouth.
And yet we'd fill another bowl.
Oh, yeah, right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's early S&M for kids.
Something about this. Yeah. I know.
I need a safe word for Captain Crunch.
Chocula. I wonder if there's a psychologist who actually gets to that question, like trying to get to the beginning. What was your favorite cereal as a child, right?
Yeah. And if it's like, I don't know, that mushy wheat stuff, you're fine. Get out of here.
Right, yeah. Cocoa wheats. That can't be
goodbye.
it then. That can't be it then. So let's talk about, you're here this week, obviously doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Last night I was here. Fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very. I just filmed a special in March. That is, we're just finishing it.
Okay.
And hoping to sell it. And it's different. The business has changed so much. I've been doing it for so long that I've seen like 4 different iterations of the business.
Yeah, right.
And I'm now in this one. And every one you get closer and closer to living and working in a gypsy camp. But I think that's a slur. I hope it's not. I don't mean it as one. Romanian fortune tellers.
You know how they are. They grew up in a gypsy camp. Wink, wink.
But it used to be like you get a special on HBO or Showtime, and they'd pay you X amount of money, and you'd film the special, and they'd air it. Now you have to make your special yourself.
Yes.
And then you try to sell it to these people. And so, but the thing about doing a special, as you know, is, okay, I'm out of material. I got nothing. It's an hour. Comedian, and I really think George Carlin is the man that established this sort of rhythm. You write an hour, perfect it, film it as a special, move on to your next hour, and you have to rebuild it. And so I'm right at that point now where it's modular. I have all my bits, and I have new bits, and I take out the old one and put the new one in, and you just build it up as much as you can.
Yeah.
And for me, the more I do stand up, the more I write stand up. When
Sure.
I'm not doing it, I'm working on 2 other things right now. So or 3 or 5 actually. But I focus on that, and I don't really think about stand up. But then when I'm on stage and stuff comes, and you add to stuff. I added to stuff last night, and I'm frantically writing it down after. It just so it's exciting to perform now. That's what I'm trying to say in my own torturous way is doing new stuff and seeing what works, and hoping that people don't roll their eyes when they hear something that they think they've heard before.
Have you already listened back to like last night, for example?
I never listened.
Never.
I couldn't.
You don't
you
do
have
that.
to put a gun in my mouth to make me listen to myself. No, but I have a good memory for what works.
So
and
you know what
doesn't.
stood out, the new thing, like after
Yeah,
the show,
it
you're
was
like, oh,
some
that
things
was the
that-
thing I added.
Yeah, exactly. I had 2 of those. Like some things work better than I think. Like I have doing this is very inside baseball, but like I did a bit. I think I told you about like watching a meth head argue with a robot. That I did see, and I was driving my daughter, and I was like, running the bit past my daughter, and she was just staring at me like, "Will you please shut up? Just drive." And I did it the first time. I got a laugh, and it's usually it's like the idea is there, and I got to keep digging and digging and digging, because what I think is funny is usually so baroque and off center that I've got to kind of work it backwards to where people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, when you presented that to the crowd last night, and you prefaced it by saying, "Do you have those robots here in the Twin Cities?" Which we don't.
Yeah.
But I have seen them. I watch a streamer in L.A.
Sure.
I'm a
yeah.
real nerd.
No,
but
it's
anyway,
crazy.
But I watch a guy that drives around L.A. on the weekends, and he points them out. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Yeah, they're robots. It's literally like, and I'm like, that's a robot. Can we just stop for a minute?
Exactly.
I was just at Whole Foods, and it was like, do you want to pay with your hand? Like, no, I'm not.
Blink to round up.
Yeah, exactly. Don't you have Blink Pay? You already bought it. What? You looked at it long enough. We charged you.
You also now have a subscription to Whole Foods.
And that's the point of that thing I was trying to get, is that like they don't solve the real problems, but they've made it really easy to pay for stuff.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We have robots. What do? Deliver Doritos.
Pretty
now we
much.
don't have to pay people to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Are they using those to deliver pot in California yet?
I'm sure they are. Your joke here.
Because that seems like, if
The
not,
robot never came, man. No.
Yeah, right.
He's headed out to Yucca Valley. He's got some friends.
We have a photo of you collecting it from the robot. Nah, man, wasn't me, dude.
Yeah. That was a robot.
That was Steve, my friend.
But
dude.
they're very clever in that they gave them little faces. Like
Yes.
their
They're
headlights.
adorable.
They look like Wall-E.
Yeah.
Their headlights look like eyes, and I see it go up to the curb and it stops. I'm like, don't fall off the curb. Like I'm very invested in its safety.
Save yourself. So I witnessed something last night that It definitely does not normally happen. I walked out as I was leaving the club, and there were several comedians that had been at the show in the audience, and they were both of them talking about. One basically said he should quit comedy after seeing you.
Oh, I thought he meant I should quit.
No, that he should, Dana, because you're so freaking good.
Oh well, it would be weird if I wasn't at this point. Somebody brought me a. Well, that's very nice, and don't quit. Somebody brought me a newspaper article from like the Star Tribune or something from when I was here in like '89 or '88.
Oh my!
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it goes a long way back.
Wow.
I remember like there was a porn place near here, Adult World or
Sex
something?
World.
Sex World.
Yeah.
Is Sex World still going?
Whereas
the science, because I did a bit about it. I remember doing a bit.
Yeah.
Sex World. It's not just a store. It's a world. You'll forget you're on the earth.
The middle of nowhere. It's. I'm assuming it's now a condo building. I can only imagine.
But please tell me they left the sign up there. I live in the Sex World building. I work from home. I'm in the Sex World building.
That would be great. My wife and I went to this thing over the weekend. It's like a brewery/hotel in Fargo, North Dakota for somebody's birthday. Anyway,
everything is something else now.
Yes, and all the rooms are named after beers that this company sells.
Okay.
I've just imagined the Sex World condo.
I'm in the Seika room.
Exactly.
Boy, everybody's used this room. Yeah, I know.
I love it. I listened.
That was just to that end.
Yeah.
Something, because here's something I can't do on stage. Talk about how, I fancy myself to be on the right side of history on things, social issues and such. I was doing a bit about how I was at a table full of people and they were talking about my daughter, and they said, "What does your daughter do?" And she's my oldest daughter's in university at school, and she's a paleontologist. And I said, I kind of wish her mom and I wish she was a stripper, but she went into this and we support it. Ha ha ha. And this one woman said, "But if that was what she chose to do, that would be okay." And I said, "No."
No.
No, it wouldn't. Not at all. That sounds like a great job for your kid. And that the people will not laugh at that. They were like I don't want her to work in minefields either.
Yeah.
I don't want her to go into fires. It just doesn't sound, that or pediatrician. I think pediatrician might be a better job.
Yeah. It's okay to have standards in that. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone that just heard you say that can picture that woman
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah. And it's also, tell me more, person with no kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell me more, cat mom.
Yeah. Always an expert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always an expert.
And it's like I'm not saying I don't want these people to have health insurance, and I want everything they want. And but as a parent, I'd rather my kid not do it.
I don't know that you love your kids as much as you could.
Exactly.
Not sure.
My friend, I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he said, "I'd like my daughter to design little outfits for the strippers, but I don't want her wearing them."
Adjacent.
Yeah, I like the term "little outfits."
I don't want her to work at Sex World. I want her to live in the building that was Sex World.
Yeah, I'm in the Sex World building.
Yeah.
We're live at the Sex World building.
There's one room they left. Wouldn't that be great? Last time you were here in 2019, sir, you brought somebody who's kind of his career's
Became a star.
kind of taken off.
Yeah.
Hannah Einbinder.
Hannah Einbinder, yeah. How come I didn't become a big star?
Stop. Stop. But we have to go back. You told a story about how Ali Wong has a similar relationship with you as Hannah. Kind of like you saw something. Like
yeah. I mean, Ali middled for me at the Punchline in San Francisco 100 years ago, and I said, I was like, don't stay up here. Move to LA. Don't get too comfortable up here. She was just clearly really good.
Yeah.
And when she did move to LA, I helped her out. I introduced her to my managers. I tried to get in. Nobody was interested. But she did great, obviously. And then, of course, everybody that passed on her after the first special was like, "You're friends with Ali Wong. Don't you take a meeting?" Like, no, you had a meeting with her. You passed on her. You know?
You blew it.
Yeah, you blew it. And
Love that.
yeah. But it's great. It's great to see. She's so smart.
Yeah.
And Hannah. I think I must have told the story last time. I was at a show. I saw Hannah perform, and I came in late, so she was already on. I was just watching her, and she came out, and I said, "Who are you? That was fantastic." And she said, "My name is." I knew her name is Hannah. I said, "What's your last name?" She goes, "Einbinder." And I said, "Are you?" And I have a friend. Are you Chad? Are you related to Chad Einbinder? And she went, "Chad's my father. You've been to my house. You were in my bat mitzvah video." And I went, "Oh, you're that Hannah." And her mom is Lorraine Newman.
Yes.
And so it was very strange. It was like, "Oh yeah, I know you," and she's just so what. And Hannah, what I love about Hannah is that she has her own thing. Like the way she performs on stage is her own. She has her own style, you know.
And she's since been back to headline Acme since
As
that
well,
happened.
she should have. Yeah.
And obviously big TV star now.
Yeah,
and-
big, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still listen to WTF with Mark Maron, your episode from 2022. Listening to you two guys talk to each other is gold.
Yeah, it's funny.
Really, really enjoyed that.
It's funny. Again, just because we've known each other for so long, it's so weird. I just had a birthday party, that he came to.
Yes.
That I did not throw. My wife made me have a birthday party. I did not want to have a birthday party.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But I'm talking to Mark Maron, and I'm there with my friend Matt Weinhold, and we're all there talking, and you know we all go back so far.
Yeah.
And I said, like, you know, it's like, and we were just talking about people like, whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to him? And then Mark said, it's true. It's like, you know, at a certain point we got to this, like, well, you know, yeah, we're still alive. That's a big thing. And as if like on cue, Laura Keitlinger walked up to us and said, "Look at us, still alive." It was just like out of a movie. It was so weird.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. It was
No
weird.
one was recording. Everything's being recorded these days.
It's a party. Yeah, it was really fun. I'll tell this. My wife is loves comedy, you know, obviously, and before she even knew me, she was a huge fan of Maria Bamford's, who's a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and Maria was at the party, and Kat had been working all day on this party that was not a surprise, but it was at a place, and it was a big thing.
Okay.
And so she hadn't eaten anything. And then Maria came in, and Kat got social anxiety, so she had a martini. And then she had 2 or 3 more martinis. And I didn't know it because I'm giving everybody 20 minutes, you know, like I'm working the party.
Sure.
And when it's all done, everybody's paid. We go home, and I go, "Oh my God, you're hammered." She was like, I'm fine. Gets in the car, immediately falls asleep in the car.
Oh, okay. Just fell asleep.
Just fell asleep in
Okay.
the car. Okay. Oh, the minute she stopped moving, the minute she sat down, conk.
Did you carry her in the house like a baby when
Oh,
you
she
got
did-
home?
She did. No, she got up and walked in the house, and but it did remind me of when my brothers and I woke up one morning and we couldn't find our mother, and my dad had just left her in the car in the driveway.
No.
Yeah.
Did you confront him about that?
No, I was 11. I wanted to keep my teeth. It was like, "Up, good move, Dad. We love it." You know, we were. I was raised by alcoholics in the 70s. The fact that I'm here is a miracle.
I mean, right? Yeah.
So much time spent me and my brothers in the back of an open pickup truck being driven on a dirt road through the woods at night by a drunk person.
Every part of that should not have happened. Yeah.
And it happened on a regular basis.
Even the simple part of you like riding in the back of an open pickup. When's the last time you saw people in the back of an open pickup? I haven't seen that in 30 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
But we used to travel to a lot of like sixth, seventh, eighth grade baseball games.
Sure.
When we had one coach and two dads that showed up,
Yeah.
and we all piled into the back, and we would drive 45 minutes to a game in the back of a pickup.
And this was the thing that they said was dangerous. It wasn't getting bounced out of the car. It was, don't put your fingers between the bed and the cab, because if you come to a sudden stop, you're going to smash your fingers. Other than that, you're fine.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, no, it's a miracle that it's a miracle that none of us are dead.
If we saw that today, there would be a policeman pulling up
you'd
soon after.
have to report them.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. It would be like somebody holding a baby in the front seat of a car, like something's
Letting the baby drive.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. And that's the thing is it's kind of like the robots. Yeah, the world changes, and by and large, it changes for the better. But it's also, and this is the whole, in terms of like a lot of social conservatism, it's resistance to change. Bill Kristol's or somebody. No, whoever the guy was. It might have been the guy from Firing Line. Said we stand athwart history and say halt. That was the definition of conservatism.
Oh.
And Bill Buckley. It might have been Bill Buckley, but I'm sure it was somebody else. He was paraphrasing. But it's like, for better or worse, constant change is the only thing that never changes. Everything's going to change all the time, and you can't stop it.
Yeah.
And
one thing you can count on.
Yeah, and culture moves. It's a pendulum, but it never swings completely back. There's always a vestige of it. Like I think a lot of the furor about pronouns and things is already kind of like easing off. Like people aren't so strident about it anymore.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
But it's also, it's like, but now, which is good, I think. But trans people are common and accepted, and they don't have to live in the shadows anymore. So that's great. And it's like, my brother, I don't get it. You don't have to. You don't have to get it. This is the world now. It's like a weird musical analogy. John Entwistle of The Who was complaining to Pete Townsend about rap. This goes back 20 years or 30 years. And John was just like, I don't understand it. And Pete said, it's not our job to understand it. It's our job to get out of the way.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I like that. That. That's like how I justify I'm the only one in my house that's not a Taylor Swift fan. I'm like, she's not writing songs for me.
Look,
if I was a fan, that would be more odd than being a fan. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Dana.
I have a 15-year-old. I have 3 daughters, and I can tell you everything I need to know. I'm going to tell you about Tay Tay. I'm going to go.
Lay it on me.
Struck a nerve now, Justin. No, I think she's in a rut. I think she's in a songwriting rut. I think she's written the same album 3 times now.
Okay.
And I see people come along. I think Lana Del Rey is a far superior songwriter. I think Olivia Rodrigo I like what she does a lot. She's more of a rocker. She whoever her producer is, they know about Loud, Quiet, Loud.
Yes.
Like they're Pixies fans.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'll tell you who's amazing. Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan's unbelievable.
I have missed that. I've missed that whole thing.
Chappell Roan, but here's the thing. She's filthy.
Okay.
She has a song called Casual. The Chappell Roan songs that you want to hear, she's from the Midwest. I think she's from St. Louis, are Casual, Phenomenon, and Hot to Go. Those are 3 great songs.
Yeah.
Those are great songs. But there's a line in Casual that's a big hit. And it's like, knee deep in the back seat and you're eating me out. Like that's in the lyrics that my kid is just like listening to. I can't stop it. But the Beatles did not do that. If the Beatles could have written songs the way people today could write songs, their songs would sound like the versions of their songs that my brothers and I sang in the house trying to make each other laugh.
Yes. Yes. The Dirty Weird Al.
Yeah. I once had a girl and I fucked her.
She liked it.
She liked it.
She once sucked me.
Your tits. Awesome. And I'm not against swearing. It's so funny. It was so weird. My wife and I watched Casino we just streamed it, you know, and I've seen it before, but I like it, and we watched it, and it was great, and then I was somewhere, and I was on the road, and I would turn on the TV in the hotel like 5 nights later, 6 nights later, and it was on, but it was on broadcast.
Oh yeah.
So it's hilarious. There's not a line in there that they keep, and I don't have anything against swearing, but what I really feel for is some poor sound director had to get Robert De Niro in a booth for that. And you're like, all right, Joe Pesci has you've caught him having sex with your wife, and you're going to call him a money-grabbing melon farmer. You're going to call him a crazy duck.
I want to believe he went off script. Like, no, I got a better one.
Yeah.
That's like the.
I like to call him a crayon eater.
That's literal. Mr. Show did a version of that. Do you remember that? They did Pallies, and it was mother, father, Chinese dentist.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, there's
that loopy nerd.
I think it's from The Big Lebowski. That's what you get. There's somebody called it. It's like that's what you get when you meet a friend in the Andes instead of F someone in the A. And then somebody called their album "Meeting a Friend in the Andes" based on that.
That's great. That is so funny. That is so funny. Hey,
Meeting a friend in the Andes.
You had a joke last night, and it's like something about
just the one.
You had a joke. You had one that stood out. Just one.
It was a short set, but it was solid.
It was so good. You say something about old people magazines, and it's like there's a difference between old people magazines and old people magazines.
Yes.
That immediately triggered something in my mind. When I was in like junior high, I was trying to have this. I was talking to a girl on the phone, wanted her to be my girlfriend.
Sure.
And at one point, I told her I have trouble making friends. And she was like, "You do? You seem like people will really like you." And I was like, No. I have friends that cause trouble. They're trouble-making friends.
Oh, that's really funny.
I was like, no, I have lots of friends.
That's really funny. Trouble-making friends.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. The dangers of punctuation. It's so funny. I did it last night about like, you know, the adult content and porn, that now it's a different world. It's on your phone. It's in your pocket all the time. And for kids, it's weird because I don't think it's healthy to have access to everything immediately.
Can't possibly be.
Yeah. And I said, and I know you know this bit, like when I was a kid, you know, porn was a big deal. You had to find it out in the woods, which is a weirdly universal thing. Everywhere I've gone in North America, I say that and people go, yep. And then last night, my friend Sean told me that one night when he grew up around here.
Yeah.
Said one time my friends and I were out in the woods and we found a little box and it had porn magazines and 4 deer hooves. I was like, can I please use that in some capacity?
Oh my God.
I don't know what he was doing, but I have 37 ideas.
Exactly. Yes.
Many of them involve the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. On Dasher. On Prancer.
Oh.
Yeah. What? Oh, no.
Oh, my.
No. No. Hooves.
I can't let you go without talking about... I love so many things that you're done. I'm obviously a huge fan of your stand-up. Stand Against Evil was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
But the Dr. Z stuff that
Sure.
you've been doing on YouTube.
Thank you. I'm just working on them all morning.
Is there a season, another
Well,
season coming?
We're not going to do a 4th season of the talk show yet. But one, he has an Instagram account with his showbiz exploits that I just posted to this morning.
Okay.
It's Hanging with Dr. Z, and it's just, you can see it's self-explanatory. It's pictures of him from his career and then long stories about how he got to where he is. They're very I write them for fun. And I just posted one about an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
Telling the time that he telling the time that he was filming a movie in the desert, and they were in Monument Valley, and he said, "It's the last time in my life I'll ever say, have those clams gone bad? I'll risk it." And the resulting footage was recut into the movie Cramping Trip, which then was recut and sold to Roger Corman as a horror film called The Floating Terror. And then it finally became a hit when it was renamed Crack a Window. But we're doing a short movie, which is sort of like the kid stays in the picture, like a 15-minute version of his career, that will be up and available.
Wow.
And then we are looking to do a feature length. It would be very low budget because I don't know if anybody's going to give us any money, or we might have to crowdfund it a little bit. But it's Dr. Z solves a murder at a Hollywood party. And but yeah, no, I really love doing it because it's not me.
Right.
So it's really fun. It's really fun.
I can't recommend if people need to watch these episodes. At most, they're 15 minutes long.
Yeah, we keep them tight. And it's beautifully stupid.
Yes, you playing off your band leader is so
Paul,
good.
yeah. From Vacant Lot, Paul Greenberg from Vacant Lot.
What's his name? Rusty
Steele.
Rusty Steele. Oh, they're so good.
Rusty Steele.
They're good. And you've had a who's who.
Oh yeah,
of guests.
we've had Hannah Einbinder, Jason from Seinfeld.
Alexander.
Thank you.
Weird Al.
I was going to Statham, Sudeikis.
Him too. All
I
of
had
them.
S in my head.
All of them.
Yeah, we had Weird Al. We've had some, and it was always the big people that you ask that like, oh, I'll do it. Like, why are you telling me now? Like, because I have friends that are famous. I'd love to do it. Well, I did ask before.
Isn't that always how it is?
Yeah.
I want to know, have you ever, so it's like Hollywood quality Dr. Zaius costume.
No, it's exactly what they had in the movies. The only thing that's different is the glue we use now is better.
Oh.
Back then it was spirit gum, which you can kind of pull off. This is this stuff called, it's surgical adhesive, basically.
Okay.
God, I can't think of the name of it, but I have a bunch of it.
Are you ever going out in public?
You have to paint it off. You can't just pull your appliance off. You've got to paint it off.
Paint it? Oh,
Yeah.
like with a remover of some sort.
Yeah,
Ouch.
it's surgical adhesive.
Sure.
It'll seal a wound, it's exactly what they had in the film. I've driven my car in the makeup, and no one looks twice.
In L.A. though.
Yeah, with a cameraman in the car. But yeah, no, but what's amazing about that makeup is the genius of that design is how much of it is me. There's so much of you there.
Okay.
They really designed it to interact with human anatomy in a way it's basically 5 pieces. It's a brow and an upper lip.
Yeah.
The lower lip, a wig, and then 2 hair pieces that go from above the ear to halfway to all the way across the chin.
Yeah.
And then the other one goes from above the ear to over the other side of the chin. So instead of like having sideburns and a chin piece, and then you'd have a seam between the 2 of them, it just overlaps under the mouth. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's so brilliant. It's like, how did you do this?
Do you keep up with the current versions of these movies?
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, they're fine. They're
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like the one with Mark Wahlberg, but the newer things I think are great. I thought the new one this summer was really enjoyable and entertaining.
Okay.
But it was weird. It was like, I don't know why. And that movie was a hit.
Yeah.
And Furiosa was not. And they're both as good. It's like,
Interesting.
I don't understand why nobody knows anything anymore. It's really weird. There's no reason for one of those movies to not be as successful as the other. I thought they were both great.
Can I throw out an idea? You go in the costume and go stand out with the other superheroes and stuff on Hollywood Boulevard.
No one would care. That's the amazing. What would be amazing is how little people would notice. That's the great thing about living near Hollywood. It's like I have been in traffic at Franklin and Highland, which is right above Mann's Chinese Theater, and seen like Superman leaving work. Just like tired Superman. This is and I always
He fist bumps Chewbacca.
yeah, no, they're just yeah. I always wondered, is it a wet creepy guy dressed up as Spider-Man, or a regular guy dressed up as wet creepy Spider-Man? I can't. Again, trouble making friends.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the new chicken and egg.
Yeah.
It's is that a?
And I remember there was one. I was walking by, and there was a girl dressed up as Supergirl, and then she starts talking this really thick Russian accent. Get photo with Supergirl. Photo with Supergirl. Like, you're not Supergirl's not Russian. She's a Krypton, and that's space America as far as you're concerned.
That's right. How dare you? You're not original.
Go give money to Tim Pool, commie.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I told you we do a half an hour now, and that's a little over half hour. So, is there anything else we should be mentioning? I loved Joyride. That was not out there by the last time I saw you.
Joyride came out.
Your doc with Bobcat and the accident that had happened since prior to last time you were here. So we did talk about that.
We did talk about the accident.
Your ribs colliding in the back of a car, but now there's a documentary that's out there that I
called
recommend.
Joyride. Me and Bob Goldthwait. I mean, right now I'm working on. I'm a writer on the show Ted. The Seth MacFarlane show, which if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's really, really funny. We just wrote the second season.
And you're in an episode of season
I'm in an
1.
episode. I'll be in an episode of the second season
Excellent.
too. The same character.
Oh, a priest.
Priest.
I mean, of course.
Yeah, typecasting. I may or may not be getting arrested, and we don't know.
Okay.
And then hanging with Dr. Z, and then other stuff. I don't want to. And I have a podcast called The Dana Gould Hour. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your Halloween episode is always one of the big ones.
September one's coming out in like 2 days, I think, and then Halloween's next.
That's the huge one.
Already get the plans.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I said the same thing to you 5 years ago when we did this last. I said, continue coming back every year so we can keep doing this.
Well, I'm sorry there was such a break. But if Lewis has me back, I'll come and talk to you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, I love this place. I love coming back. I have so many friends here. It's definitely one of my home away from home places. So
love to hear that. Love to hear. I can't recommend your set enough to everybody.
Oh, thanks.
You got
I had a good time.
Thank you.
All right.